Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. We are super duper excited, y'all. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Jeanette Greenwood. I am the CEO and founder of Ladies in Film and Television here, located in Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. And I do not take Dallas Cowboy jokes today. Okay, we're gonna put that out there right now. No Dallas Cowboy jokes. We don't want to have to block anybody. But on a serious note, we're definitely here and excited tonight. Live here with the Texas Indie Filmmaker Awards on Live TV, and we have some amazing guests, finalists tonight that is in the final. That is actually going to be at the awards show March this year, and representing the film BABU I. I am so excited to have this young man. We actually got a chance to talk a little bit before the show started. And oh my God, what he's about to share tonight is going to definitely bless a lot of filmmakers, indie filmmakers. Indie filmmakers is what makes this industry. Don't you ever get it twisted and think that what we do is not important. What you are doing out here in this industry is definitely important and is needed. How do you think blockbuster films got made? Do you think that these people that made these films just appeared out of the sky? They were like filmmaker aliens, and they came out of the sky and became these superstars? No, they started just like us in the indie industry. So I'm super excited about Texas Indie Filmmaker Awards. And for those that don't know, it's an awards show hosted by Ladies in Film and Television. This is our first one. It will be March. Tickets actually go on sale this Friday for the show, and it's going to be in Arlington, Texas. And we're super excited at the Hilton Hotel. So we want to shout out to the Hilton Hotel for allowing us to host at their beautiful hotel. So we're going to have a great time. So without further ado, because y'all know I like to talk, I got to bring on my guest, and I'm so excited. He's backstage. Not only is he backstage, he has two guests that he brought with him as well. I'm not going to introduce them, okay? I'm going to bring him on first. Then I'm going to allow him to introduce them. I'm always putting people to work, y'all. So I already told him, I was like, I hope you prepared an amazing introduction because you're going to be introducing your people, okay? So without further ado, y'all, now, I'm sorry. I'm moving too fast. I got house rules, okay? House rules. Guys, we cannot see you. You can chat and say hello. So definitely start typing hello because I see people are logging in. We don't know that you're there. I can see how many people are here, but they don't know that you're here until you log in and say hello and say something to them, okay? But when I introduce my guest and when I bring him on, what I ask you to do, if y'all would do this for me, please, you know that little heart button? Push that, like, go crazy with it, like, until all these hearts fly everywhere. I love hearts. Okay, that is the way that we applause in the virtual world, is giving hearts. So without further ado, show him a bunch of hearts, and I welcome to our stage, to our platform, and if I say these names wrong, I've already told them to correct me because I am country and I am from Texas, okay? But Randika Perera, give him hearts. Hi!
Hey Jeanette, how's it
Hi!
going?
I'm good. Welcome back. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Good, good. All right, I see we're getting these hearts out here. All right, we got a good crew coming in, giving up the hearts. Thank you so much. We are so excited to have you on the show to talk about your project, talk about your film, talk about future projects, talk about the industry itself. So, who I know who you are because I got a chance to watch the amazing film, but tell our listening audience who who are you? How did you get into film? And whatever you feel we need to know.
Thank you, Jeanette, for that beautiful introduction. So my name is Randika Perera. I am 33 years old. So I started my journey into film started when I was young, but I don't think I thought I could do it till around 7, 8 years ago. So I've always been a student of film. I've been watching a lot of films from the US, from Europe, India, I would say even Asia, like Hong Kong, China, and even like places like Iran and like Armenia, Austria, all these countries, right? So I've been kind of watching these films. I was exposed to these films at a young age, and as I kind of grew older, it's something I always wanted to like do, like go into film. But it's something that at the early age, it was very hard to convince my parents to kind of send me to film school. So like for them, they looked at it from a rational sense, and they were like, it's something you can pursue at some point in your life, but for you to do film, you need to figure out the funding aspects of things and that are associated with that. So you'll be in a better position to handle something like this if you have your base set. So that was kind of the platform I was kind of built on. In addition to that, I would say like I didn't really think like filmmaking is something a person like anyone can do. Something I thought it's like reserved for like like artists and like people who are beyond like the level of thinking that I thought I was accustomed to. So it's only during my time in the US that I kind of start to understand that this is a place where you have freedom to do anything you want. You can learn what you want. So just speaking to that a little bit, I'm originally from Sri Lanka. It's a small island below India. I came to the US. I originally came to Boston for my undergrad. And then I kind of lived in New York for around 6 years, and I moved to Dallas. I've been in Dallas now for like another 5 or 6 years. So that's kind of my journey along the way. So I also think that I wouldn't have been able to kind of start my journey in film if I didn't meet the people I met along the way as well. So my peak in film was like my curiosity in film was kind of started out with a few of my friends who lived in New York. They used to do off Broadway acting, and I used to go to these shows, and I realized it's like it's just like people like me. They're trying to figure things out. So kind of that as the base point, I was just like, okay, I started thinking about writing scripts and things like that. But none of this would have ever come to fruition if I didn't meet the people I met along the way, especially in Texas. So I got the chance to meet Jordan Spencer. He's my right hand guy. He's effectively I don't know how to say this. I know we look at these labels and titles in terms of like directors and like composers and things like that, but it's actually a little bit different with our system, how we work. So Jordan is actually as important as part of the script as in formation of this film as anyone else. So the way the way I look at it is film to me is like a 60 to 70% visual experience, 40% an auditory experience. And if Jordan does his job really well, like he would go uncredited, and I get all the credit. But that's not how our understanding works, and I have a lot of appreciation for what he does. And in addition to that, we all also have a form of communication that kind of influences each other. So for instance, if there are things that he wants to explore auditorily or through score or through sound, it's something that actually affects it. I will actually go back and change my script to kind of adjust to these things we want to experiment, because like I'm a believer in like everyone wanting to like artistically collaborate. So I think this is the best way to do it. So that's a little bit about Jordan. And in addition to that, the our lovely actress Adya, I'm also struggling to say her last name, but I think it's John Lagarda. But so she was the reason I made this film. So like it's nice to have an idea, but it has to fit the person and has to find the situation, and like you should be able to kind of bring it to fruition. So when I kind of started on this film, we weren't actually not going to make a film. We were going to actually test our knowledge in filmmaking with a camera. So
Mhm.
just to take you back in time, so it's around 6 or 7 years ago, I started thinking like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can go into film and study film. So I started studying some of the coursework and some of the material from my old school, Boston University, which is also home to some great filmmakers. So I went into our student link, got the class books, got the course material, kind of downloaded all of that, and then bought the books, and I kind of started studying on my own. 2 or 3 years into this process, when I was actively studying, is when I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. And because it's pointless learning all this stuff if I can't like implement it. So it was it's about 4 years ago, and I started this process of like, okay, let's start shooting some footage and let's work around. And as we are shooting this footage, let's work around the story. So I originally wrote a script which is around 8 pages long with a base idea of like how this is going to work out. At the same time, like the way I looked at it is I looked at it based on what available assets I have to use in my film. I'm originally not from this country. I'm from Sri Lanka. I don't have any family and friends, but my wife, she's from Dallas, so her family and like extended family became my friends and family.
Wow.
Right. To be honest, I do not speak the language of Tamil that is actually on the film. So like I had a lot of help from her family and her family's friends to kind of get this on board. So the way I looked at it was more of a like intellectual compromises and strategic decisions that we had to make to kind of figure this out. So originally, I knew it was hard to bring in like a random family member who does not have any acting experience and to make it believable on screen, right? So because soon as it kind of gives away if the person's not skilled in that aspect. I also knew it'd be highly believable if the person was a child and a child acted the way a child acted. And there's far less actual instructions that is required from my end to kind of take that process forward. So that's where Adya came about. Adya, when she started the film, she was 7 years old. Uh,
Oh, okay.
when we ended the film, she was 9 years old, right? So we filmed this over 3.5 years, effectively.
Wow.
It was a 3.5 year experience of like figuring out of film school, right? So we invested a minuscule budget of around 5,000, which was effectively the camera and some of the additional items that went into it, and like some to jack up the camera to get 4K upgrade and stuff like that. So and we had two sets of lenses. We had 85 millimeter and we had a 14 millimeter, just really opposites on the spectrum. So these are the things we had at hand to kind of like start this process. So we wrote the script basically around this character of Adya. So when Adya kind of came into the picture and she said she was interested in this film, that's when we were like, okay, like, and she also wanted to be an actress one day. So that's when we kind of started the process. Just to give you an idea, when we started writing the story out, there was no COVID. As we were kind of filming, we were COVID, like we were filming through COVID as well,
So
obviously.
what year was that when you started?
So it was 4 years ago. That was, I
Oh, that was
guess, recent.
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Okay.
So as we kind of started filming this, and we started doing filming during COVID as well, with precautionary steps taken. We realized like the story was kind of morphing in its own way. So we
Mm.
kind of like we took a step back, and we were like, and it was a decision between me and Jordan as well. We were like, this is kind of part of life. This has happened, and this is not going to go away. So why don't we kind of incorporate that into the film, right?
Wow.
So the story morphed throughout the process, and the inputs to like the way the story changed was, one, obviously my collaboration with Jordan and our situational circumstances as well. And in addition to that, it was also because of the actress. So like there's only like when I started this out, I was like 29 or 28, and how like you can't write for a child who's a girl, at that age. Just there's no way you can bridge that gap. So as much as like I tried this like writing the dialogue, what I started to realize was, what, as Adya was also kind of like getting older and she was maturing in the acting process, I was like, what, like it's better off to just hand it out to her to kind of take it
Oh,
from this point.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was more on the lines of it was less of like written dialogue and memorization when it came to her. It was more on the lines of kind of like, hey, out there, this is kind of what we want to say in this, like in this scene. How do you want to go about it? How do you think you would go about it? And
So are you
then
saying that it was more of improv?
it's a combination of improv. Like it's more like very controlled improv, if you might say.
Right.
So
Okay.
like we had certain beats you have to hit like within the story, within the scene, and she would kind of take it, and like she would go at it in a way that uh, she felt a child would go through, and she could definitely speak to a little bit more about it than I do, but that's kind of how we went about it.
Okay. I think it's time for us to get ready to bring your special guest on. And so I will turn it over to you to tell the audience who you got backstage.
Awesome. So I think the first person I want to introduce is Jordan Spencer. He's a composer, cinematographer, multiple hats being worn in this process. So he's like, so it's like a dual team. Me and Jordan kind of are the ones who kind of put this story together. And then now I
Okay.
want to bring in Adya as well. Adya Janlagada, she's a lovely little actress. Without her, we wouldn't be able to do this film at all. So going to bring in.
Hi.
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. This is amazing to have you guys on. So it's Adia.
Yes.
Adia. Okay. Let me just say to you that I got a chance to watch the film, and of course, you do look bigger than what I remember seeing on the film. So, wow, I'm just excited to just see you in person because I am a fan. I'm truly a fan. So, how did you get started? Was this your first film, or have you ever acted prior to this?
Well, I've done theater, but it was only for like about half a year. But this was my first film, and I did not know the real meaning of acting. I thought it was just video, edit, and then it's posted, but no, it's a lot more work than that.
Wow. So what was from listening to Radhika, you guys did this in over a 3-year period. So what was the experience for you being pretty much the star of this film?
Well, it was unexpected. Um, I thought it was I thought I would not be able to do it because, no experience. I've never tried something like this before, but I guess I was wrong. And now I'm quite a good actor, and I've definitely matured through the years. And I'm very proud of myself for that.
Wow. Wow. You should be very proud of yourself. Jordan,
How's
hi.
it going?
All
Hi,
right,
thank you for
thank
having me.
you.
I'm doing
Awesome. Well,
great,
I
thank
got a
you.
chance to hear some great things about you. Tell us about Jordan and how you two linked up and all this good stuff.
Oh man, well, my kind of getting into film is a little bit of a two-pronged story and how I came into this film in particular. So as Randika mentioned, right, we met actually a few years ago here through work at our day jobs and just kind of found that we both were creative people and kind of clicked well in that. I'd always kind of been interested in film growing up, like loved watching films, as a child. I'd just stay up all night watching a bunch of different movies, was really into some of the classic directors like Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan's work. And I kind of entertained the idea of going to film school for a little bit, but similar to Randika, had really conservative parents who wanted me to go, get a normal day job and figure out how to make a living first. So ended up doing that and kind of, thought maybe I'd pursue it on the side, just kind of kept it put on the shelf. And then my kind of original role for this film was actually being the composer. So I've been also doing music since I was about 8 years old. I picked up a guitar, played that for all the way through high school. And then within the past maybe 5 or 6 years, kind of got more into full arrangements and productions, producing
Oh,
music.
wow.
So kind of it was originally like rock music, and then I started branching out other genres. And so we met, like I said, at work, kind of established a friendship. And then when he wanted to start working on the film, he came to me and, approached me, hey, I want to do a film. Like, would you be interested in doing the music on it? And so that was the original spark. And then through talking about, we kind of explored my passion for film initially on the side. Music's probably my bigger focus. But like I said, always interested in film. So I thought that'd be cool to try to write music for film and do something with that and kind of marry the two. And then just through trying to put this film together and realizing all the technical challenges. And, I kind of had a background in photography as well growing up and, had an eye for framing and things like that. So I kind of ended up doing a lot of cinematography work and just kind of whatever needed to be done. The two of us just problem solving and learning as we go what needed to be done in order to get the shots right and everything, and just kind of piecing it together and figuring it out. So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up here.
Wow. Well, I mean the cinematography was amazing. The film was amazing. Um, I've actually talked to Randika backstage earlier, and you, Randika, you actually did. This film has kind of taken a spin of its own in other festivals. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've been very fortunate and lucky. So this is all a big surprise to us as well. So kind of like around April of last year, we kind of finished up the film, and then we were like, you know what, we'll send it out to the festivals and see how that goes. Maybe we'll see some validation, or what, we'll see some areas where we need to improve. So saying that, so we did pretty well on the film festival circuit for a first time film. If I, yeah, so we did. So we were selected for the Berlin Indie Film Festival, Toronto Tamil Film Festival, Pinewood Studios First Time Filmmakers Festival, Boston Independent Film Awards, Zagreb International Film Festival in Croatia. So those are the ones we got selected. In addition to that, we had some wins as well. So were semi-finalists at the LA Indie Short Fest,
Wow.
winner at the Louis Brunel Memorial Awards, winner for the Tagore Debut Film and Outstanding Film Awards. In addition to that, we also won their top prize at the Tagore Film Festival, the Son of the East Award. Also, in addition to that, we also won the Golden Lemur film festival for best direction and best short film out of Portugal. So those are some of the accolades. So we're very grateful for all these awards because we did not expect anything, to be honest. But so we're very humbled by this. So.
Wow, that is a long list, a very impressive list. So you should be honored because to do your first film and put it out here and get all of this, I mean that's a reason to be proud. We got a question out there in the audience. Someone said, "How was directing the extras like the mother?"
So it was interesting because we had to kind of like so it was again a strategic decision to kind of handle all the extras in the world building aspect of it. as I kind of mentioned, like we didn't have access to professionals and things like that, so we kind of had to make do with family members and people around us to kind of step in. But since we had like we were in control of the story, what we wanted to do was kind of hold off for showing all the adults in the film till the end, and coincide that with the actual graduation of the main character Adya in her mindset. So that was the point in which she kind of becomes an adult, and we kind of reserved that right till the end to kind of start showing the adults' faces. So that way we can minimize like any bad acting or that would come about if we kind of brought that stuff to the front end. So we were very grateful for the extras because it was family members. My wife's mother played the grandmother. At least
okay.
at least her hands. That's what she did. And then we did a voiceover from a different a lady called Shanti Murali, and she kind of stepped in to do the voiceover of the grandmother. And Deepankar Pandit is also another individual who played the role of the father. So these are all like friends and family who I'm very grateful to stepping in to help us out.
Wow. You know what? That is the joy of producing an independent film. I remember my first, I do film and stage plays. I remember my very first stage plays because I started writing in the church. And my very first stage play that I did in the public was in 2000, either 9 or 10. I can't remember, 2009 or 2010. And I did the exact same thing. I grabbed children, cousins, friends, everybody. Some of these people had never acted a day in their life, and pull them like, look, we're going to put on a play. And believe it or not, I sold out that play. I sold out that play, my very first play. That's when I knew this is where I need to be. And to hear you say you were grabbing family and friends and in-laws and, hey, just get in here. Oh, that is the fun of doing independent films. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for whoever that was. Is it Samal for asking that question? That was a good question. So I have a couple of more questions for you guys. There's Texas. We are seeing a lot of things happening in the state of Texas, and that's the whole purpose of Texas Independent Filmmaker Awards show, is that we wanted to honor Texas. We wanted to put Texas on the map because we know we have all the LA and the Atlanta and all these places where the movies are big and popping, but there's a lot of work and there's a lot of talent right here in Texas. I'm asking this question, for whichever one of you want to answer. Where do you see the film industry as you look at it right now in the next 5 years? Where do you see how it's going for the state of Texas and the filmmakers that are here?
I think Texas is I can speak to it a little bit as well, but I think Texas is a great place to make film. First of all, I think the community is very close. So there's a lot of resources here because the community is very close. So if you want to be a filmmaker, you can definitely, there's a meetup groups, there's the Dallas Film Commission, there's several different avenues in which you can kind of get the advice you need or the help you need. As far as the acting pool of talent and things like that goes, so me and Jordan were just finishing up our second short film as well. So something I can speak to a little bit about some of our experiences with that. So we were able to kind of find a really good pool of actors who are from either Austin, Dallas, or Houston. And there's some great acting schools that have amazing resources if you want to act, or if you want to kind of work with established actors to kind of get the ball moving. So, and in addition to that, I think even working with the city of Dallas, getting permits, getting locations, they have been very helpful. So I cannot speak for LA or New York, but I would imagine the demand is for these kind of services a lot higher. So being in a place like Dallas or like in Texas, I would say, kind of opens up opens up the space to kind of get the help you need as far as making films.
Awesome. I agree with everything you said 100%, because I can't speak to any of those other states either, but I can definitely tell you Texas is headed in the right directions. Jordan, do you have any comment on that?
Nothing to add to what Randika said. I think he hit the nail on the head on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely Texas is truly the place to be. So earlier, are you planning? I know the film is right now um in a lot of festivals. So if anyone wanted to see the film, um, are you showing any? Have you had like any premieres, or how would they be able to actually see the film?
Yeah, so we were initially planning to have a premiere earlier in the year, but things kind of like, we kind of started working on our next film, so we kind of didn't we didn't give it the love it deserved to kind of take it to a premiere and things like that. But I think what we're planning to do is, because also getting a theater and also company asking people to kind of come to watch a theater, like a film premiere for 15 minutes, I feel like is a lot to ask, especially if people have to drive in Dallas.
Right.
So what we think you're doing is we're trying to kind of combine it with our next film and have a premiere for them together. But as far
Okay.
as like finding it online, it is available on Vimeo, and it's also available on Film Freeway as well, to kind of watch for anyone who's interested.
Okay, and that's definitely a good idea to say that your next film, because you can show it there
Mhm.
at the premiere. So make sure you let me know, because
Yeah, will do.
I definitely want to come out and support. So how did you hear about the Texas Indie Filmmaker Awards? How did you find out about us?
So I was going through the list of film festivals that are out of Texas, because most of the stuff I kind of applied to festivals I have heard of, and
Okay.
I either been to, or I have heard of from when I was in Sri Lanka. So I wanted to kind of have some like representation where I filmed it, right? So
Okay.
I kind of looked through the list of festivals, and there's a few out of Texas. So that's kind of how I got introduced to Texas Indie Film Festival.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. Well, let me just tell you again, we're so glad that you entered and registered with us, because we were amazed at all the filmmakers that are actually coming from all over Texas. Last week we spoke with a filmmaker, a 19-year-old filmmaker, and I didn't know he was 19 until I went and read the bio, because I study, try to go to your Film Freeway, read the bios, and when I went to his I saw the film, but I don't know why I never read the bio before I just watched the film. But when I went back, said, "Oh, let me go look at his bio, because I want to know about him." And that was the first thing he said, 19-year-old. I'm like, what? You're kidding me. 19-year-old, but he's coming in from San Antonio, Texas. So we're really excited about that. And what I'm really excited about is that all of you are going to get a chance to get together in VIP and and network and talk and just really find out more about each other. And that's the whole purpose of this event, is we want to be able to, like you say, pull the network together, keep us close, because you said some, Randika, earlier that I definitely agree with, is that Texas, you know, the film community is pretty close. I mean, people don't mind. Like in our group, we have Texas Indie Filmmaker Group. We have almost 7,000 filmmakers in that group. So for those of you that don't know, go to ladiesinfilm.com, click on the link, and it could take you right into the Facebook group. We have to let you in. There's a few questions, answer those, but we'll let you in. But I have to throw that plug out there. But we have almost 7,000 filmmakers in that group. And I help monitor. We have like 5 admins, but what I like even in that group and what I notice is that people would throw things in there like, "Hey, I'm filming. I need a grip. I need blah blah blah," and they were like, "Hey, I want And I mean, it's like boom, the thread is like flooded. And then I've had some people that go in, actors that have posted their headshots in there and was like, "Hey, I'm here in Texas. I'm looking for something, and I'm looking like, boom, they're like people on there like, hey, welcome, and I'm gonna give you a chance. So it's, I mean, that's that's that Southern hospitality, you know. That's what we do down here. We know how to engage and enjoy one another. So you said something earlier, and I've heard a lot of people that I've interviewed, finalists that are coming in, are pretty much saying the exact same thing. So you have experienced that Texas, that love of being people just flocking to you to help, right?
Yeah, I agree. And in addition to that as well, like the hospitality, like here, I feel like people, when you say you're working on a short film or a film for that matter, like they are willing to like, help out. Like, it's not like something you hear all the time in Texas. So we had a lot of help from the community and the people we worked with, neighbors, everyone involved. In addition to that, like even as going us, like say, has everything you need. There are some really good studios that carry like really good equipment if that is what's holding you back. Lighting, there are great producers. There's a lot of resources here in Dallas, and I would highly suggest reaching out to Dallas Film Commission to get any additional resources you need. Their website is pretty helpful. They takes you through all the permit requirements, all everything else that you can you need as a filmmaker.
Wow, and you're so right. Dallas Film Commission, they have a lot of resources for those. We have Fort Worth as well, Fort Worth Film Commission, Texas Film Commission. They have, oh my God, they have like a whole like spreadsheet of industry people out there that you can actually just all over Texas. So there are a lot of resources out here for those that are interested. If any of you that are in the listening audience, listen to these gems that that they're throwing out there, because this is how they jumped in and they got started. So don't think that you got to have $10 million to make a film, right?
Yeah, we made ours for $5,000. So that's
And the indie filmmaker, that's a pretty big budget.
That is a big budget, right? So, but like honestly, like you can shoot it on your iPhone. There's so many ways to do that. So it's crazy because me and Jordan, while we were filming over the 3.5 years we were doing this, like there were new iPhones that were coming out, and we would compare our like shot footage on our like camera versus versus the iPhone footage, and we were at one point considering using the iPhone as our B-roll.
Really?
So like we were considering that, and then we were like we would need more, like we need to figure out storage issues and stuff like that. But either way, the newer cameras, there's no barriers to entry.
I agree. I definitely agree. And there's actually a lot of iPhone film festivals out there that where people are actually shooting with their iPhones. We may have to enter a category next year, because this is an annual event, and doing a cell phone category. That would be fun. I'm glad you brought that up.
I think there's like a film called Tangerine that is like really great, that was shot on an iPhone. I think it's like it was like a feature film shot fully on an iPhone.
Really?
iPhone. Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty good film.
I have to look that one up. And do you know if where is it? Is it showing? Is it on like Vimeo or?
It's actually a feature film by. One second, let me look it up.
Yeah, I would like to get that information. So Jordan, while he's looking that up, because I want him to throw that in the chat so I can share that out there, so I can have it when I can get back and get it, because I want an iPhone feature film. That's interesting. So Jordan,
Sean Baker is the director. Sorry.
Is it SEAN?
Sean Baker is the director.
How do you spell Sean?
SEAN. Sean Baker.
SEAN Baker, BAKER.
Yeah.
And what is the name of the film?
It's called Tangerine. It's probably it's probably for adults, but yes, just want to kind of.
All right. Thank you for warning me.
Yeah.
So And I'm gonna put this on the screen, guys. So anybody want it, you can. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and you can screenshot it so you'll have it. Because unless you got a great memory that's not like mine, I'll forget in seconds. So that's it. I hope I spelled tangerine right, but if I didn't, don't y'all come for me, okay? So Jordan, what do you got? What do you have going on now? I know that you guys did this film. Do you have any projects that you got coming out?
Yeah, so actually, like Randika just mentioned, we just finished shooting our next short a little over a month ago. So I'm hard at work right now trying to write the score for that. You know, kind of had a little bit of a theme written out before we shot it. But now that we have all the footage and everything, starting to kind of get a rough edit of that going, trying to, you know, match up some of the music to the cues on the screen, and then, you know, writing new music for the scenes. And just really, once I have the visual, helps a lot to kind of get the exact feel or tone I want in the music to convey to the viewer. And so right now I'm just hard at work on going through that. I think I've got maybe like the first, you know, 3 scenes written out, and just kind of pressing Randy to keep getting a rough edit to me so I can keep writing. So that's what's keeping me busy right now.
Wow. That must be really exciting. I'm just curious because I've never sat with someone that scored music and I've never seen that process. And, you know, I have my editor, he does it and I just get it when he's sending back. But what is your process when you're writing the music? Do you prefer to have the film shot first and then you watch it and kind of make the music to what you see, or you already have it in your mind on how you want to put it out there?
So it's tough to say. It kind of depends on, you know, there's certain pieces that I'll just write ahead of time. There's certain pieces that I'll write once I see the footage. Something Randika and I do a lot is we'll kind of do what he likes to refer to as word association game, where he'll just kind of give me like a feeling or a, you know, vibe, emotion, whatever you want to call it, of what he wants the viewer to feel as they're watching the scene. And then we'll kind of talk about, you know, do we want something more, you know, in your face, more, you know, subtle underneath the sound that's happening on screen. And then I'll just kind of have like a mood I want to create, and I'll start with that. And so I usually write out kind of like a rough idea. And then once I actually see the visual, then I'll kind of refine it. And, you know, and I can start adding more melody if there's not a lot going on the screen, and I kind of want, you know, the sound to carry what the viewer is taking away from the movie more. Or if there's a lot, you know, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of visual things happening, then I'll usually kind of, you know, tone it down, go for more like subtle harmonies and things like that, to where the music isn't really as perceivable, but it's still there, and, you know, getting that emotion across the viewer without being very obvious.
Wow. Just listening to you describe your process, it's just like, man, he got this down pat. Like, this is the way it goes. Like, wow. Adaya,
oh, glad I can convince you of that.
Adaya, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I was just going to add to that as well. So like, for instance, in like BABU and I, the last scene, which is the montage, was fully formed through collaboration with me and Jordan. So like, I knew I wanted to do a montage, but I didn't know how I wanted to establish it, how I wanted to go ahead with it. And it's also the pivotal scene because it's the last scene of the film. So there's a very strong collaborative effort there to kind of work together to kind of take the montage to its final end.
So, wow. Man, I'm telling you, the music, everything about that film, BABU and I, is amazing. And he earlier when he got on, he thanked me. He was like, I just want to thank you, Miss Jeanette, you know, for getting us. I was like, well, you know, thank you for thanking me, but I didn't judge the film. Your work got you in. You know, we had LA, you know, we had celebrities that was actually judging these films. LA producers and things like that. So we took the heat off of us because I gotta live in Texas. Okay, I gotta probably run into y'all at the store. I don't want to be like, "What did you want? You to pick my film?" You know, no, I was not gonna set myself up like that. But I told you, you guys earned it. Adaya, when I tell you the reviews that you got that I can't show you yet, but you gotta get a chance to see them when this award show is over. I mean, amazing reviews about your performance. So what do you have going on? Are you in any other productions or film projects or planning on it?
No, but I do want to also thank you and everyone here for giving me this big opportunity that I thought would never happen. And I I hope I will be in more films and, be more active in acting so then I can become more mature and then, increase my emotions in acting.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can definitely see you, honey. Let me tell you. From watching you on that film, I can see you definitely going places. So if you're not in the Texas Indie Filmmaker Awards uh indie group, the Facebook group, I know a lot of my I have grandkids. I don't know, how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 10 years old.
You're 10. See, yeah, my grandkids, they're a little bit older than you, but they don't like Facebook. They're like, that's for old people. I'm like, what? How dare you? They want a TikTok and Snapchat, but we do have a Facebook group. We will definitely invite you to, if your parents want to come in and monitor it and watch you, or if you have a Facebook, they're welcome to join it, and definitely get in there and look around, because they're always a lot of the indie artists are always posting and looking for different actors and things like that. And that's the way to definitely get in and to get into more projects, is by getting your feet wet and continue to act and to continue to get yourself seen. So I would definitely advise you, as an acting coach here in Fort Worth, to let you know that you got what it takes, sweetheart, and definitely keep doing it. You're more than welcome. You thank me, but let me just tell you, just like I told Randika, don't thank me, sweetie. It was your talent that got you here. And with you being the actress, you brought this film to this show, okay? Along with everyone else's talent on this team. So be very proud of yourself, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm super excited. Like I said, it's so much talent, and I are you guys planning on being at the show? I just asked everybody.
Yeah, yes, we are planning to be on the show. We all live in Dallas, so we should be able to make it.
Yay. Okay. So, like I say, I just spilled the tea that the tickets will be on sale this Friday. We just had our meeting. Our meetings are getting we're meeting a lot now, because March will be here before you know it. So we have, like I say, a lot of things that we got planned for you, more than just these interviews, where our team is looking at ways we want to make sure we provide you guys as much exposure, as much opportunity. You are, let me tell you, you are our celebrities, Texas celebrities. We want you to feel like celebrities. You're gonna feel like celebrities, definitely the night of. So our ladies are working so hard behind the scene. I see our membership chair, director of membership, Miss Nicole Allen. She's on giving y'all that strong man emoji. So hey, Nicole, but we are working so hard, like I say, to make sure you guys just enjoy yourself, enjoy the red carpet, enjoy everything that we got out there. Because again, I appreciate you thanking me, but it was your work that got you to this place, and it's amazing. Randika, question for you: who
Yep.
inspired you to get in film?
Who inspired me? It's a combination of things. I don't think it's like one thing. I think it's like my dad, who used to watch a lot of films, when we used to watch a lot of films together. So he's not with us anymore, but his input and his thoughts about film definitely influenced me a lot. And as far as directors go, I would say I've been heavily influenced by some of the French directors, Robert Bresson, some Indian director called Satyajit Ray, and even some of the top American directors, like John Ford, like Martin Scorsese. There's so many that people I've been influenced by. But as far as making the leap, I guess it's just my dad, I would say.
Your dad. Wow. So y'all enjoyed sitting and watching films. What was his favorite type of film?
His films were definitely different from my taste, but I think what he really liked was he really liked action films, and I think he
Okay.
liked the idea of being like you can just disappear into like the world. So he liked this movie by. He's the one who kind of showed me Spike Lee's Inside Man. Inside, can't remember the name. Inside Job. So he was into thrillers and action films and things like that. So that was kind of the first steps for me getting into film.
So you said his genre is different from yours. What is your favorite?
I think as far as thematically, I like films that kind of like make you think after you've left the theater. And sometimes when you're not able to sleep and like, not just like, yes, it is lovely to have just pure entertainment as well. And it's something I really want to express as well through pure entertainment, through film. But besides that, I think part of it is also like there's a movement in film called transcendental style in filmmaking by this particular. It was kind of coined by this director called Paul Schrader, who directed Taxi Driver. So I'm from that. I like those kinds of films where they have a lot of dead time in order to kind of help the viewer kind of move away from the film and to kind of think about what just happened. So that's kind of like thematically what I kind of work towards. Yeah.
Wow. So you want to make sure when people I see what you're saying, when they leave the theater, you want them still thinking. When they go home, getting to bed, they still thinking about your film. Is that what you said?
And and that's exactly what it is. And like we tried a little bit of that in our film BABU and I as well. Like we kind of like to leave things a little open-ended. We want the audience to participate in the film as well. Like that's a bit of an experiment we were trying out, because there's a fine line to like someone doesn't understand your film, or like someone's actively engaging in it. So there's more scrutiny on getting the story right in a way that it fits everyone's perception. So we had a lot of interesting feedback as to how the story ends and how they think it ends and why they think it ends. Why did the mother leave? Things like that. So so it's very important to us to get the story has to stand on its own, and so it can leave room for people to kind of interpret it in different ways.
Wow.
So that's a controlled effect we were hoping for, and I think it looks like we have achieved some of it. So it's great news.
So this next question is for all three of y'all, because I'm telling you, we got 8 minutes. Y'all, this time when I tell you, when you're having fun, time flies. Where do you see yourself, Randika, in the next 3 years? Where do you see yourself, or where do you want to see yourself as far as film? What is your goal?
I think I want to make films. I want to continue making films on some of it, hopefully on my terms. And as far as increasing the length of my films, hopefully getting to a feature in the next 3 or 4 years is kind of, what I'm working towards.
All right. Feature film. So that's good. That means Jordan's gonna have a lot of work. So Jordan, that's our question to you. What do you see? Well, I know one place you're gonna be doing a feature film in 3 years. So, but other than the feature film that you're gonna be scoring for, where do you see yourself? What is your dream? What is your goal?
Well, like you said, assuming I can do anything other than work on the music for that film for the next 3 years. No, I would just like to continue to grow as a composer, find other types of projects to work on, whether it's other films or other directors. Obviously, whatever Randy's working on, I'm there ready to score that. Maybe even, get into some commercial music or something like that. Just because up until I had started working on this, my kind of music genre was, rock for a while, guitar focused music, and then kind of been transitioned over to EDM when COVID started, and I kind of couldn't play live and had to do more at home. So this has just been an awesome journey to get into film scoring and kind of, I don't know how to say it this way, but like making music more of a specific purpose other than it just sounding good, right? Like trying to convey an emotion and things like that, and with the music, and give something to the audience to take away from the music that isn't just, oh, that sounded really cool, that was a catchy melody. So yeah, I just want to continue to grow that and find more projects that I can get involved in and just grow my skill set musically.
Definitely. Well, I'm so glad that I've met you guys, because I have 3 more people added to my network to reach out to, because I've been kind of quiet because of the pandemic, but I've been writing. Oh my God, I've written so much stuff. So it's time to try to put some of that stuff out there and get some work done. So I'm excited. I definitely would be looking forward to hopefully connecting with you guys and we work on some things together. Adaya, the same question for you. Where do you see yourself, or what are your dreams or goals within the next 3 years? We're going to make it a short goal.
My dream is to continue acting. And I do hopefully want to see myself on that big screen in the movie theater. Can't get too ahead of myself, but yes, I do want to continue acting and continue to make my family and me proud.
Awesome. I love it. And you're definitely going to do that. So you keep, like I say, you keep reaching out there, and I'm going to, if I can get your information, I want to send you you and your family some information. I'll get with Randika, and if to get it, I think I have your email, and I want to send you some resources on some things as far as the acting and stuff goes that will help you out. Okay. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now make sure mom and dad says okay. You're 10. I want to send you something. I got something for you. Okay. All right. Well, guys, you know what? It has been amazing show. I got one more question that I ask everybody before we close out, because I'm super excited about this show, y'all. I've already bought my dress that I'm going to wear. But now, the closer that I get, I don't want that dress. I want something else. So I'm still shopping. I'm so excited. I bought I don't know how many different pair of earrings, and I can only wear one pair. Like, why are you buying all these earrings when you only can wear one pair? Every pair of earrings that I get, I'm like, these are the ones. But I got like 10 of them that are the ones. So that's just gonna make my night hard trying to figure out which one really is the one. So. Are y'all planning on bringing family, friends, and do we got the wardrobe together? I like clothes. I love style, and I like to see people on red carpets. I like being fancy and stuff. So we're gonna still let the ladies first. Are you preparing for the red carpet, Adaya?
Yes, I am.
You can't tell me what you gonna wear. You can't let that cat out the bag.
No, it's a surprise.
She's like, you're not gonna try to show up in the same dress I have, a little bit bigger, but you're not gonna show up in my dress. I don't blame you. See, look, guys, she's already ready for Hollywood. You see that? She's like, oh no, that's secret. No, you're not getting my dress information. I love it. So since she wouldn't tell me anything, Jordan, what you
yeah, well, I'm gonna have to go figure that out now that I thought about that since you put it out there. So yeah, we'll figure out the rest of the wardrobe. I'll probably have a pair of Jordans on. I'm a huge sneakerhead, so I'll probably sneak those in and show those off. But yeah, the rest of the outfits TBD.
Oh, okay. So let me just say this. All I gotta say for everybody listening, and I haven't even got to Randika because he looked like he just gonna come fly with the hair all just ready, So pretty much what you two already done told me that BABU and I, for the ones that already, because I see a couple of people on here that got interviews coming up. So thank y'all I saw Angela Chapman. She's actually going to interview tomorrow. She has a documentary that's in the final. So that's so sweet of her to jump on y'all live and check it out. So thank you, Angela. So basically, Angela and the rest of you that are looking, what they're saying is, BABU and I, we showing up to this red carpet and we ain't coming to play. Is that right? Randika, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Y'all not coming to play?
Yep, we're coming to win, I guess, hopefully. But yeah.
So because you're married. So the last person I talked to, he was like, basically one person I talked to, they was like, basically they were waiting. The wife gonna have to help figure out the attire. So who's the stylist in your family? Is it you or is it your wife?
She definitely has a bigger say for sure, but I have opinions as well, So I have strong opinions as well. So, but I end up wearing what she asked me to wear. So.
Oh, okay. Because women, we like to coordinate, okay, with our man. I'm just saying. But look, Miss Ball Truth, she's still here. She say, I'm trying to get the scoop on what everyone is wearing. See, this is your competition right here, y'all. She on her being nosy. But guess what? They didn't give us no scoop. I've been trying to get the scoop too. We didn't get all they say is show up if you want to see us. Okay. I love it. I love it. Let me just say, I have enjoyed interviewing all of you. I hope you all have enjoyed the interview as well. I'm super excited for you. I can't wait to see who these winners are going to come out that night. But in my opinion, we're all winners because we're from Texas and we're independent artists and we can do what we want, right? So congratulations. You guys rock, and I know we're going to have an amazing time. Randika, I'm going to allow you to give us the closeout words because you're the man with the plan. Close us out. What do you want to tell us? Anybody, anything, what you feel like we need to know before we log off?
All right. So first of all, thank you for the Texas Indie Film Festival for picking us and giving us this opportunity. It's a great honor, and to get many eyes on our film, we appreciate it, and even allowing us to bring our guests, Jordan, to give the credit where credit is deserved, and so I appreciate that, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch our film and give us feedback, and this feels great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that's what you said. The magic word, feels great. If we don't hear feels great, then we are not doing the job. And y'all may not can tell, but I'm pretty bossy as a boss. So we want to make sure you guys feel great. If y'all ever tell me I'm not feeling great, I'm going to start looking around the room and trying to figure out, why is he not feeling great? Hello? They're not feeling great. We need some work over here. So thank y'all so much. I enjoyed the show. Welcome to this Indie Awards, our first annual. You all are making history with us, and we appreciate you so much. For all of you that are in the audience, give them some more love. Give us some hearts. I see some claps coming in, and thank all of you. This show would not have been what it was without you engaging with us and sharing and showing this. For all of you that are coming on replay, thank y'all for being late, but it's okay. Type in replay and watch the show and still comment because we love you too. We welcome you all to Texas Indie Filmmaker Awards show by getting your tickets this Friday. Thank you all. To all of you, have a good night.